Hey everybody, welcome to another, what would I call this, a session called Streams of Consciousness. And I can see my glasses are going to be a problem again out in the yard. I've decided that I'd get out of the house today, maybe do some yard work. That's why these beautiful clothes are on today. I had some thoughts, just wanted to kind of pass your way in the middle of this crisis that's been going on in our country. I've been thinking about the word revival for the last few days, and I often don't think of that word because, quite honestly, I hate that word. I hear the word used so flippantly, and it bothers me because I am a student somewhat of church history, and when you talk about the word revival, when you think about the revival that took place in New England in 1742 under Jonathan Edwards, or the revival that took place in England with John Wesley and Charles Finney and different ones, and you really study what happened. I mean, there was such a powerful move of the Holy Spirit upon the country where that revival happened, that whole communities and even countries were changed and began to seek God in a powerful way. And so I hear the word revival often used about a 2-week revival that's happening in a church, or some kind of children's program that's going to be a 2-week revival, and it's always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So when I think about the word revival, it really has more of a, well, I don't know, for lack of a better word, a holy connotation to me. The reason I'm thinking about revival is that I think that this situation that's happening in our world right now is the beginning of something that could well turn out to be a revival in our world. It's not unlike God to take a situation that looks devastating and that looks the opposite and cause His glory to be manifest in a way that people didn't expect. I was thinking about, for example, the end of World War II. And in the end of World War II, General Douglas MacArthur, who was really the key person down in that area of the world in the World War II fight against Japan. I mean, after the bomb dropped on Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and devastated that country, General MacArthur did something rather extraordinary. He begged nations of the world to send missionaries to Japan. Japan at that time was not only devastated physically, but it was devastated spiritually. And General MacArthur, who wasn't necessarily a strong Christian himself, recognized the need for Christianity in that country and begged missionaries to come. Some responded, thankfully, but quite a lot less than he had hoped for. He was hoping for about 100,000, and I think maybe up to 5,000 actually responded. In the long run, the analysis of it from an historical standpoint is that the world really missed an opportunity. And if you go to Japan today, it's not known as a Christian nation. In fact, the Christianity in that nation is almost negligible. We lost an opportunity for a revival in a country because back then people's view of the Japanese was so negative due to the cruelty that they'd exhibited on so many other countries during the war that many people just didn't want anything to do with Japan. They didn't think about the future of Japan. They basically wanted to be done with the war and done with those people. Yet MacArthur saw an opportunity that few people captured at the time, and I think that perhaps we're in that kind of stage today, not World War II, thankfully, but where there's an opportunity today in sharing our faith that has perhaps never presented itself to us. I personally think that what we have to share, and I want to communicate this in a way that I hope you catch what my meaning. I think this is a time for those who follow Christ to share authentically their faith with their neighbors, whether it's in this case, on the internet or on social media means. A lot is on the internet today, YouTube and various channels that are commercially used, and I'm capitalistic. That's not an issue. People are selling product. But the church doesn't really have a product to sell, nor should it be selling a product necessarily. We have a message, a free gift from God, And this is a country, and frankly, this is a world of people that are frightened right now. Their attention has, at least momentarily, been taken away from the creature comforts of this world. And there's many people that are now seeking and thinking about their life beyond this life. This is an opportune time for those who love Christ to share their faith in an authentic way. And what do I mean by that? A lot of what is presented in media is hard to watch. I can only put it that way. Most of what I've seen in Christian television and or Christian presentation is so professional and honestly phony that no one would ever be attracted to it. The church, and particularly Christians, we all have a message to share that's authentic. And we don't have to be someone else to share it. We can be who we are. We can be ourselves. We don't have to pretend or put on an air or even be that professional. I think people more than ever are looking for authenticity. They're looking for people to share what's truly on their hearts and have an opportunity to interact with that. So I'm not suggesting that everybody should go out and get their own YouTube channel and open up their, Special Ministry Inc. As much as using Facebook or using Instagram, using YouTube or whatever channel that you're comfortable with, and perhaps sharing faith with people and sharing with people who are looking for those answers. This is not a time for Christians to be aggressive as much as just sharing, quite frankly, why Christ or what Christ has done for us. I mean, we have a message to share that is fantastic. I know where I'm going. I don't have the fear of this disease. And most Christians who are followers of Christ have nothing to fear in this disease. I mean, we can't die, if you think about it. Our life is with God. And we have a message of peace. We have a message of power to share with people. And I would encourage you to share that. Don't wait for ministers to do that. Pastors, quite frankly, we're called to train you to do the work of ministry. We're not trained to be the ones on the internet sharing messages and sharing sermons, although we can certainly do that, and we will. But our primary job, if you look at Ephesians chapter 4, is to train you, train people who are not ministers in the classic sense, to share their faith with people. So this is a great time to use whatever resources you have to share the good news of Jesus Christ with whoever would like to listen, and using the opportunities that the internet has given us to broadcast that message to people. So that's just a word I want to pass on to you. And I also wanted to quickly mention underneath this video, our church, Motion Church, put together just a great presentation. If you have little ones at home and you're going stir crazy right now, we have Motion for Kids down underneath. There's a craft there and just a tremendous presentation, not because it's our church, but because it's just really good. Anyway, if you want to take advantage of that, if you got little kids at home, there's about 20 minutes of a message for them that'll help them build a craft and learn something about the Bible. You certainly take advantage of that. But I just wanted to pass these things along for you to think about, pray about, and consider. There's people around you that really, more than ever, are aware of their need for Christ. Have a great day.